Feeling like a weary entrepreneur but determined to chase those dreams? You're not alone. I'm Navin Kumar Selvaraj, and for the past 2 decades, I have led businesses globally, right from reviving power plants to executing M&A deals. And on this show, The Entrepreneur's Anchor, grounding your spirit in business chaos, we explore the raw reality of building your dreams, the struggles, the chaos, and the relentless drive. Let's get started. Welcome to episode 8, The Power of Forgiveness, Releasing Burdens and Growing Freedom. In our entrepreneurial journey, the heaviest burdens are often internal, the weight of unforgiveness. Our egos and fears make forgiveness hard, taking a precious mind space and hurting our decision making. Today, we look at how forgiveness liberates you and helps you move forward. Stay tuned. I'm going to share a lesson in forgiveness, and I call this chapter in my life the consultant's loophole. For the lack of a better title, let's go with that. But hear me out. I had this particular challenging situation a couple of years ago. For obvious reasons, I'm going to not share very intricate details of the deal itself to protect everyone's privacy and interest. But we had this client and a watertight agreement, or so I thought. I brought in a consultant to troubleshoot a very complex technical issue at a plant. He did solve the problem, and we were incredibly happy with the solution he gave. It was just amazing. But I was deeply disappointed when he found a loophole in our control, and that too a loophole in our contract which we had inadvertently disclosed to him. And this was, well, it was part of the job. We had to bring him in to sort the issue, and he needed to know the contractual terms. So he studied it and then used that opportunity to enter into a contract directly with the client itself, completely bypassing us. Even the exclusivity clause in our contract with the customer was circumvented in a very well executed manner. In fact, this also kind of showed the poor choice of legal consultant we had for our original contract. A lot of lessons that day. And to be very honest, I had a tough time accepting this. And to make it more complex, there were decades of a personal relationship between us, which effectively prevented me from taking any legal action or even fighting it out with the client. So after a lot of internal struggle, I found it best to forgive him instead. Yeah. And in that process, I did some deep introspection to see if I had ever broken his trust in the past. And, well, no surprise there. It did occur to me that in a past instance, on another transaction, I had unintentionally wronged him. While I didn't see this as a tit for tat, I did come to a powerful realization. Karma is true. What goes around truly does come around. That lesson, while painful, allowed me to release the intense anger and disappointment I was carrying. It really felt like a burden lifted, enabling me to just move forward with much, much, much greater clarity. You see, my friends, as entrepreneurs, holding on to grudges or resentment is a silent killer of progress. You lose sleep, it impacts your relationships, your ability to work with others, your strategic thinking, and ultimately your bottom line. It creates what I call as tunnel vision, right? It creates a lot of stress and prevents you from seeing new opportunities or quite literally, truly creating new things. When you're consumed by these past grievances, you lose your precious presence, your creativity, and a lot of other things. More importantly, your ability to make clear headed decisions, especially for the long term, the future. This is where your spiritual anchor becomes incredibly powerful. The moment you truly believe in karma and the idea that actions are essentially an outcome of your deeds, that you reap what you sow, you start seeing it in your own actions and understand its profound truth. This perspective allows you to understand people better, to develop better empathy and compassion, and that applies both inward and outwards. For practical reasons, choosing forgiveness means less time lamenting or hating and more time focusing on building your business and making money. As one of my past mentors wisely put it, when you say the truth, you don't need to lie. And when you do the right thing, you will never be wrong. This profound truth is a guiding principle for cultivating a spirit of forgiveness and integrity in all your dealings. And I swear by it. Spirituality doesn't just ask us to forgive, it provides the pathway. It helps you recognize the shared humanity in everyone, the imperfections in all of us, and the larger cosmic dance of cause and effect. This enables a deeper level of empathy and understanding that goes beyond the immediate hurt or injustice. It allows you to surrender the need for retribution and trust in a higher order of justice. So, this is the best part of my any episode that I do, you know, the practical part of it. So, how do we now practically apply this power of forgiveness in our daily lives, in business, in at home, everywhere? How are we going to do this? Whether is it forgiving ourselves or forgiving someone else? I'll give you very simple two tips that I could follow. I have followed and I'm suggesting you do too. The first one, very simple, write it out and accept it. The best way to begin is just to simply write it out. Journaling about the situation, acknowledging the hurt, and then consciously writing down your decision to accept the situation, learn the lesson, and move on. This externalizes the internal struggle and helps you process it. It's a powerful act of release. I swear by it, and you should do too. Second, consider professional guidance. If the burden is weighing you down too much, if you find yourself unable to let go despite your best efforts, I would strongly recommend having a therapist. Actually, I'm always for having a therapist, right? Not just as a reactive measure, but as a preventive measure, more to say. It's just like how you have a financial advisor for your money or a business coach for your strategy. A therapist can be an invaluable guide for your mental and emotional well being, helping you understand the situation of complex emotions like unforgiveness before they become overwhelming burdens, right? Anyways, so for this week, I challenge you to identify one area in your life or your business where you're holding on to unforgiveness. It could be a past mistake you made. It could be a client or a vendor who wronged you, or a partner who wronged you, or even a difficult conversation that left lingering resentment in your head. Take some time to write down the said situation and how it made you feel. Then consciously write down the words, I choose to forgive either the person or myself, etc., for the situation. I release this burden and choose peace, right? For example, I choose to forgive Jack for double crossing me at the game of pool. I release this burden and choose peace. It's a process, it's not a one time event, but this is the first step. And taking that first conscious step is incredibly liberating, especially when you write it down, because there's so many things that come into play, right from physical aspect of it. There's a pen, you're holding a pen, you can feel the pen, you're writing it, you're looking at it, and well, if you could actually read what you're writing, then even more so, you're seeing, you're listening, and you're speaking it out. Yeah. So remember, forgiveness is not about condoning the action. It's primarily about liberating yourself from the burden of carrying it. Right? Great. That's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining me as always on this deeply personal and powerful episode of The Entrepreneur's Anchor. If today's conversation on forgiveness resonated with you, please do subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. Remember, new episodes every Tuesday. Your support helps us share these important lessons with more entrepreneurs who need an anchor, and also As always, be sure to save or favorite any episode that truly resonated with you so you can go back and listen again whenever you need that anchor. And if you know someone who may benefit from this podcast, please do share it with them. Next week, we'll conclude our season 1 with the entrepreneur's true north, aligning business with your highest purpose, looking at how to integrate your spiritual journey with your ultimate business vision. You won't want to miss this powerful finale to our season 1. Yes, I'm actually done with one season, almost. Thank you so much, everyone, for being patient and listening to the end. Until then, stay grounded, keep building with purpose, and remember, your spirituality is your greatest asset in this incredible journey. See you next time.